your girl Bondi Blue, and I am back for another Ready to Love review. All right, so this episode, we finally got to see that crazy I told y'all that I was seeing behind old girl's eyes. I told y'all something was not right about Alexis, and I meant it, okay? Because this episode really showcased that, like, what? Like, oh my God, that girl is crazy. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, not to be dismissive or anything, but you know, girl, okay, like, oh, you have some issues. Okay, so London was interrupting the conversation that Brent and Alexis were having. And Brent was getting all big and swollen in the chest when London came over, and London's like, hold up, dog, it ain't that serious. Like, I'm just trying to have a conversation with her. She said I can have a conversation with her. Everybody just calm down. You know, I'm not trying to fight nobody. All right, Brent walks off in a huff, okay? And then London talks this gab to Alexis again about how they have this connection and all of that. And I'm like, but you got Divine over here, you know, staring into the distance, trying to figure out what she doing here, since you running behind the woman that's over there having a conversation with a whole nother guy while she's sitting over here by herself on her lonesome. Okay, I'm trying to understand something. Okay, so it just kind of seems like everybody is just running from person to person. Nobody's like actually sticking with someone. It's almost like they have to have another person to run to. Okay, I feel like London liked being in between Alexis and Divine. I feel like Alexis liked having all of the men running behind her. Eventually, they were all supposed to be hers. Like, I feel like she was just really trying to stay the girl that everybody was running behind. And when you notice that some of these guys, especially London, is starting to feel Divine a little bit more, have more intimate moments with her, then all of a sudden you want to go and find another guy to mess with. Then Brent pops up and you're sitting up there talking about you and Brent took it slow. And I'm like, child, you just started talking to Brent. You wasn't spending no time with Brent, and then all of a sudden Brent is the guy. Yet, if you really were feeling Brent like that, why are you still worrying about what's going on with London and Divine? That's what lets us know this is not about a real connection with anybody, even though she stays, you know, we really have a connection. Like, I was just like, girl, you so full of it. You so full of it, okay? Like, just as immature and crazy as you want to be, sitting up there trying to act like you're mature and looking for a real relationship and a connection. There's crazy behind those eyes, and I told y'all, I'm sorry, y'all, but she just completely caught me off guard this episode with this, you know, conversation that she had on the three-way like we in middle school or something like that. I was just like, oh girl, like, way to let your true colors show, sis. Like, in the way you was trying to use that to hurt Divine, when really it just made you look even worse. We gonna get to it. Either way, when London is trying to tell her about this connection that they supposedly have, she like high fives him and says she's done with this conversation, and then walks off and goes back to Brent. So at this point, you're saying you're done with him. There should be no more arguments with London if you're gonna walk away and go off with Brent. Okay, then you spent the night with Brent. Y'all didn't say whether y'all got nasty, but something tells me that y'all got nasty. Was y'all really just laying in a bed together? Child, please. Okay, you went and got nasty with Brent in his house. And I just kind of feel like once that move has been made, what other conversation do we need to have about any other person? You know what I'm saying? You just would imagine that on this show, once somebody decides to have, you know, relations, there are no other relations with other people. Like, you would like to hope that. But that's why I was calling it Ready to Bump, because some of y'all are not here to love, okay? Some of y'all are here to bump. So Reva and Mario Mixnuts meet up so that she can pull herself out of this situation. She's self-eliminating. And he was all surprised and hurt. And I'm just like, boy, if you don't get up out of my face with this. See, everybody's sitting up there acting like Mario Mixnuts was actually caught between somebody. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. You know, I feel like it was always Tandy. It was always Tandy. I don't know why he went and started talking and messing around with Reva. I didn't understand that, okay? Because it always seemed as if Tandy was the one that he really wanted to be with and the one that was his main focus. I don't even want to say that he really wanted to be with, because I don't think that whatever is going on with Mario and Tandy is actually anything real. It doesn't come across as real. It comes across as two people who want to be on television. So we're going to have a nice little conversation, a nice little bond while we're on on the show so that we can be one of the last couples standing. I just don't believe that any of it's real. I do feel like Divine is sincere. I feel like Ashima is sincere. I feel like Darren is trying to be on this show for the right reasons, but he has some of his own hangups that nobody is holding a mirror up to him for him to see. Like, everybody just kind of looks at Ashima like she's the one with the trust issues, when really Darren is very passive aggressive in the way he handles things. And he also has unfair expectations of people. We're going to get into that. So yeah, Reva self-eliminated and Mario is hurt. Child, get out of my facial. So everyone meets with Tommy, okay? Mario Mixed Nuts is now clear that he wants Tandy now that Reva has self-eliminated. And I'm like, boy, bye. You were never really into Reva. Like, just stop playing with me, but whatever. I guess she had to back out in order for you to be clear about that. Like, that just goes to show how unrealistic some of these relationships seem. Like, you really had to get the girl you wasn't even really worrying about out the picture before you were clear on how you felt about Tiny. Boy, bye. Okay. Ashima talks about being in her feelings with Darren at the cabin. Okay, so she basically takes all of the blame for their little spat, instead of recognizing the fact that he was kind of being unclear with what he wanted and what he was doing. Like, you're saying that you and Ashima are on the same page and she's number one, but then you're still trying to have these little conversations with Tandy. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of came off to me as if he was trying to be sneaky about it. And she was like, no, I want you to be 100 about what is going on right now. And she might have had some liquor in her system, and she may come off as a bit, rough sometimes. Ashima is, a comedian and funny. So there's not a filter all the time. And Darren comes off as somebody that is going to be highly judgmental of her in overly emotional moments. Like, constantly telling her she needs to check herself and, she can't come at him like that and she has trust issues. And it's like, well, you can be kind of judgy and full of it. But, we going to let you live right now, Darren. They going to put it all on Ashima, and I'm just going to roll my eyes hella hard because I understood exactly where she was coming from at the cabin. Tommy asked Brent where he slept on the trip, and this is when everyone understands that Alexis and Brent spent the night together. They were in the bed together. I guess everybody wasn't already aware of that, okay? London says that's a deal breaker for him. As far as it's concerned, him and Alexis are no more now that he's found out that she was in a bed with Brent. And it's just like, but it's okay for y'all to go back and forth. As men, y'all can go back and forth and make out and have strawberry sessions and all of that, but God forbid one of these women do the same thing y'all doing. I swear that double standard is a summum bit. Okay, but at the same time, I feel like their situation is not really real. I feel like they're both competing to be the most wanted. You know what I'm saying? Alexis wants all the men to be running behind her, and London is just paying attention to Alexis now that Brent has come into the equation. So who are you really feeling more? Because Mario Mixnut said that London said he had a deeper connection with Divine, but it's also because Divine is a real person. Like, I'm sorry, but Divine comes off as very emotionally honest and mature when it comes to the way she has handled herself on this show. Alexis, on the other hand, with the aloof, I'm the sexy girl thing, staring deep into your eyes, but really there's a crazy bitch back here. Like, nah. Like, I could definitely understand why the connection with Divine would have been stronger. My confusion comes in to where I'm trying to understand why London felt the need to even be worrying about Alexis once you understood what was going on with you and Divine, talking about she your ride or die. And I'm like, what the hell does that mean? Y'all are on the dating show, and just because she didn't, become interested in any other guy the way she was with you, just because she wasn't like Alexis and just, reaching out to touch somebody's hand to keep her busy while London was doing whatever he was doing, just because she wasn't doing, and she did kind of do that with Brent and made out with Brent and everything. So it was amazing to me when Brent decided that he would rather spend his time with Alexis than his time with Divine, because Divine was the one that he actually opened up to first. I was just so confused about what was going on with these people. Alexis says London wasn't who he was with her in private with everybody else. So basically, he was telling her things when it was just the two of them, like she was his number one and she was the one that he would choose if he had to choose and all of this and that, okay? And he said that he never said that she was his number one. He never said that. And I'm like, I don't know if I believe him, because he lied about it when Divine said it. And it was on camera that he said he would choose Divine. Okay, it was on camera that he said that to her. All right, so y'all remember that, because that's going to come up in another situation. She said he may not have said that she was number one, but he used other words of affirmation. I said, what other words of affirmation did he use? And then she started talking about how, oh, if you want to do it, we could bring out the evidence. And I'm like, well, bring out the evidence. Where's the evidence? And that's the same thing that London said. He was like, well, where is it at then, sis? Put it on the table. And she was like, I don't have time for this. I'm like, because you ain't got no damn evidence. That's why. Okay. London says him running behind Alexis may have turned Divine off, but it really didn't. And he's very happy and surprised that she did not, turn her back on him. But now he has to try to figure out a way to smooth things over with Divine, because you spent the whole trip running after Alexis while Alexis was running behind Brent, all so that she could have you running behind her a little bit more. It is very confusing. It's so confusing. Mario Mixnuts feels like Alexis going off on London is childish, because she was like in the middle of this meeting with all of the people, going off on him about how he's faking the funk and he, fraudulent and all of that. And he said that she was the number one and all that. And I'm just like, oh, girl, you are really showing your age right now. Calm down. Like, what are you upset about? If you and Brent spent the night together, slept in a bed together, had this connection, why are you not worrying about what happened with you and Brent? I was so surprised that she took a negative outlook on the trip when she seems to have gotten closer to Brent. So why wasn't that the main focus, Alexis? That wasn't the main focus, y'all. The main focus was why London wasn't basically telling everybody that she was his number one. That was the issue. And that's when we find out how narcissistic old girl is, okay? Because Lord have mercy. Then she also said that he told her Divine makes it too easy for him. I said, ain't that about a bit? So now you're going to try to basically insinuate that Divine is some desperate woman willing to give it up to London while you play hard to get. Is that what you're trying to, to do, to try to make it seem like you're better than Divine in some type of way? Like, I just all of a sudden started to feel like, oh, okay, this about to go way left. Those attitude issues that you said you had worked on, you really have not. You just learned how to conceal it from people when they first meet you. That's all. See, when people are withholding this much of themselves in meetings like that, that means that they got something to hide, okay? And she has her crazy to hide, which is why her ass has been aloof this whole time. Because if we really look deeply, we would have saw that something wasn't right. I did. But I think these men had the wool pulled over their eyes by the fact that she's so attractive to them. Ashima and Darren go to the gym so that they can have a conversation about whatever their issues are. Okay, they work out and he's a trainer and she eat everything up under the sun. So this is gonna be interesting. They have a lot of opposites going on betwixt the two of them. So I don't know exactly how that's gonna work out. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. In the confines of the show, they seem to have a good time together. But when it comes to being in an actual relationship, they seem so different. I feel like their differences and his lack of understanding for, anybody else's emotions. Like, I'm sorry, but Darren really comes off judgy to me. It really seems as if he was trying to let her know that they have to have a calm conversation every time they get into it. Like, that's not realistic, Darren. Nobody's going to be calm every time they get upset with you. He has a self-righteous air about himself, in which it seems as if, oh, I handle situations better because I can communicate. But then you also, do little sly stuff like tell her, that she needs to go sit down and get out your face. Like, he does things that are like low blows on the slick, but then he act like he doesn't do them. You know what I'm saying? Like, there were things he said at the cabin that had me looking at him like, wow, like all of that? Like, you're reacting like this just from some questions? Like, what do you have to hide? Okay. But she agrees that they will have conversations calmly. I'm just still feeling like Ashima and Darren's relationship is not going to go further than we thought. Okay. I thought we was going to go the distance, but I don't think that's going to happen. Divine and London meet up. And she's still talking to him, but she's still feeling some type of way. She's upset with him, and she's looking for understanding, trying to understand what is going on betwixt the two of them, because she feels like it's a sunny day, but she's in the dark. He says that she showed him so much class with the way she handled the situation with Alexis and with Brent, okay? She wants to know what's up. She says that she knows what her feelings are, but it looks like he's playing games with her. This was the same argument that Alexis had. So obviously there is some truth to London not being 100 on his intentions. Meaning, are you on this show to bump and, you know, be the last man standing so that you can add that to your ego since you quit football? Okay? Or are you really serious and being genuine with the conversations and relationships you form with these women? And I think that Alexis and Divine both are picking up on some fakeness going on with London, but I can still see how there would be a deeper or more real connection with Divine because of the person that Divine is. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so he goes into damage control. He hasn't slept, thinking about how he might have messed up their connection, and he's not playing games. He's got too much respect for her, and if he could do it all over, he would. He says that she's his number one, and she says, look, I've invested a lot into you, and I just want to know whether it's going to pay off or not. And he says that it will pay off, and he's for real with her. I said, I don't know. I don't know. Brent and Alexis meet up, and he tells her that he feels like he's in second place. You know why? Because she spent most of the time going off about London instead of rejoicing in the time that she spent with Brent. Okay? So he's feeling like second place. She assures him that she's done with London, and he has been the best option this entire time. I said, I'm sure, sis. I'm sure. You just trying to grab on to somebody because you don't want to be a loser. Mario and Tandy meet up. He makes her a porcelain ring because they were doing, doing some crafts or whatever. Y'all know how they mold stuff. I don't know. I can't think of the word right now. Okay. But they were crafting. They were having a good time together, and it's cute. You know, gave it a little ring. That's so nice. Oh my God. I know it's not a real ring, but you know it's cute. Oh my God, we're having a good time. Whatever, Mario Mix Nuts, okay? Then they talk about what couple they expect to be the last, one of the last three couples, and they talk about Darren and Ashima, and how even though they would like to see London and Divine there, they can just about guess the couple that they will see as one of the last couples is Darren and Ashima. And I just kind of feel like, I don't know. I'm not feeling it the way I was before. Tommy meets with the women, and then Tommy meets with the men, but the conversations are edited together simultaneously. So let's get through these notes, okay? Because I didn't wrote this down. So when they meet up, Tommy and Ashima both have to tell the group about Darren's dad having a heart attack. So he went back home to be with his family, so he's not going to be here for this part of the show. And then they go through all of the men that Alexis has been through. Girl, you done went from, didn't she have a connection with Jimmy at some point? She had a connection with Jimmy. Then she had a connection with Carrie, and it was London, and it was Brent. And I'm trying to think there's probably somebody else up in the mix somewhere. But either way, there have been a few, okay? Ashima and Alexis say London is playing games, and he waters down his situation with Divine, okay? And I'm like, since when? Since when has he watered it down? Because Mario Mixnut said that he said his connection with Divine was stronger. So where you were getting this information from, Ashima and Alexis? Divine says that's not what she has gotten from London. That's not her experience with him. Alexis says, but do you fault him for talking bad about you? Because Alexis keeps trying to put it out there like London has been talking bad about Divine to her. And she's like, I don't necessarily believe that that's true. Like, I'm sorry. I don't believe you. I don't know you like that. You could just trying to be messing up our situation because you jealous. Okay, which is probably what it is. Then Alexis brings up London calling Divine on three-way without Divine knowing about it. And Alexis was on the phone and she didn't say anything. I said, so you mean to tell me you've been sitting across from this woman all of these times knowing that y'all had this conversation? You full of shit. And you a liar. I think you're a liar. Divine doesn't believe that this three-way conversation happened. And Alexis says, Divine says she knows London didn't actually say he chose her, like she was backpedaling. So basically, okay, so Alexis is telling us, okay, and everybody, okay, that Divine was on the phone with London and told him, yeah, I know you didn't really say I was your favorite. I know you didn't really say that, you know, and that's not what happened because we saw when he said that to her. We saw when he said that to her. Then there was another conversation with her friend. Remember when he met with her friends? And they also talked about it then, about how he said that she was number one. And he was like, I don't remember saying that. And she was like, oh, no, you said that. And then they played the tapes back. And then they played the tapes back again this time to show that that conversation actually did happen. So Alexis had to be lying, because why would Divine get on the phone and say that he didn't say that when we saw him say it? That's stupid. I don't think she knew that that part was recorded. But either way, she started to look very, she was unraveling. I'm going to say that. She was unraveling. She looked unstable as this conversation progressed. Divine says, look, I don't know you. I don't trust you. And I never said any of that. I don't remember saying any of that on any phone conversation that I've had with London. Tommy asked Alexis if she believes it was childish for her to be on this three-way conversation. She says yes, and she actually felt bad for Divine, and she's been trying to protect her feelings. Divine said, girl, you ain't trying to protect nobody damn feelings. Alexis says that they are rock solid because she backed out. He would still be hanging on a fence with his big ass. I said, oh, shade him now, why don't you? Okay, you're fighting for the man because you act like, you know, this is the type of stuff you do when you want somebody and you mad they don't want you. But really, you don't want these people. You just mad that you're not the one that everybody wants. You mad that Divine and got this man's attention away from you. Girl, I don't know what's going on because you pushed him away. You said you was through with him. What is the problem? Why are you not focusing on whatever is going on with you and gray hairs? Divine says, first of all, you wasn't the first one to back out. I backed out a long time ago, and he stepped his game up with me. And that is true. Divine was about to leave a while ago. And he, you know, started to make more of an effort with her, which kept her on the show. Because she was about to self-eliminate, like, what, 2-3 weeks ago? So Alexis sitting up here talking about the only reason that they are solid now is because she backed out. No, I think it's more so that you showed your true colors to London, which made him stop pursuing you. Because had he continued to pursue you, even though you were acting like you weren't interested, you actually were. And I think you would have still been talking to him. Okay, so no, I'm not going with Alexis in this foolishness. Alexis says that Divine isn't being honest and she's desperate. Divine says that she didn't even know Brent's name last week. She was calling him Brett. Girl, tell the truth. Shame the devil. Alexis says that she has receipts. She always talking about receipts that she never pulls out. Girl, you gonna learn one day to stop that, okay? Divine says she and London are solid and that's it. And then there's some conversation and she talking about she'll drag Divine said, girl, you don't want these problems. And she was like, oh, I do. I want all the smoke. I say, so you want to fight her? For what? For what? Explain to me what you want to fight her for, because she's not admitting to a conversation that you allegedly heard over a three-way that you weren't even supposed. What? Girl, if you don't sit your crazy, immature ass down somewhere, okay? Like, this is when people need to go somewhere and work on themselves. That's why you and that best friend not together, even though he probably in love with your crazy ass, okay? Girl, go on somewhere away from us with this. And Brent, if you have not seen the crazy yet, please wait on it. Get ready for it. Because that girl is crazy. That girl showed her complete other ass on this episode, but I enjoyed it, child. We're going to see what happened next week. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I hope y'all enjoyed the review. I love and appreciate every single one of y'all that come and watch my videos every single week. And I'll see y'all in the next one.